You're rocking with the best.
You are now tuned in. Rock it out with the Say More podcast with Sylvia Darlene, Sadie B, and Tamaya Allen. Music, entertainment, life. Let's go.
What's going on? It's the Say More podcast. I'm your host, Sylvia Darlene. What's going on, co-host?
What's up? It's your boy Sadie B, man.
And we got a cameraman right now as a co-host. What's up, Mike?
What's going on with y'all?
And we got some special guests in the building. What's up, y'all?
What's going on?
I'm gonna need for y'all to pick up your mic, right?
Everybody got camera shots.
So we got a lot of people on this panel. This is going to be an interesting one. So let's start off with you, twin. Introduce yourself.
What's going on, man? This is your boy, legendary Big Twin, spring 2007, Allen University.
All right.
Oh, all right. Everybody, my name's Ty, DJ T-Raw, Allen University, spring 08.
I'm Aaron, Benedict College, Gamma Pi, spring 14.
Hey, I'm Imani. I'm a spring 16 initiate of the Theta Gamma chapter, aka at University of South Carolina.
What's poppin'? It's Dee. I'm a spring 17 initiate of the Iota Chi chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated at USC.
All right, so this episode of the Say More podcast is a special episode. Of course, it's all Devine and Greeks, and we're going to get into it. So, I got my first question. So, what made you guys decide to join your organization? Anybody can go ahead and start.
Oh, well, I can go ahead and do that. I chose Omega, man. At the time when I was in school, I had my first son my senior year, and I was looking at some positive pass down to him, besides the typical things, sports and stuff like that. So I decided to do something positive that I seen that he can look up to when he get older. So that was my choice. Mine was a legacy piece.
Okay, that was fun. Yeah.
All right, so I decided to join. When I first moved down here, it was like I kind of had like bad grades from Detroit initially, but I played AAU ball and then all my AAU culture was so that's how I ended up playing.
I chose Alpha because I'm an education major, and when I joined, attended Benedict, a lot of Alphas were education majors, but it went beyond just the classroom. They were out in the community, helping the neighboring communities with the children and just doing events for them. So that's why I chose Alpha.
Okay. Ladies?
I feel like I chose Alpha Kappa Alpha for some personal reasons as well as some historical reasons. When I look back in history, I love seeing that my organization were, on the front lines of bringing social justice to our country, and not just our country, but honestly across the globe. I guess personally, also a lot of the women that influenced me and had the most impact on my life were Alpha women. A lot of family members as well as principals and teachers. Like, they were AKAs, and I looked at them and I was like, these are the women I want to be like. These are the women that inspired me.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, my reason is pretty similar. The village that raised me, most of the women were Deltas. My mentor that I met when I was 12 years old, she's still in my life, and she was a Delta. She taught me the importance of service and helping out the community, my grades, and growing into the person that I should be. And that stuck with me. I'm 23 years old. She met me when I was 12, and she still contacts me almost every day. And she just instilled very important values in me as a young child. So, when I got older, it's like, I want to be just like her. And I saw other Delta women had those same exact qualities. So I just knew it was for me.
Okay. Okay. Sadie B?
What about you, my brother?
Oh, yeah, my bad. I'm forgetting the host right now. I'm forgetting the host. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I was in high school when I first, someone asked me, hey, you going to school? I was like, yeah, I want to. And they say, hey, so you think about doing a fraternity? I ain't know nothing at the time, so I did some research. Came across some Kappas. And I was like, oh, man, I think this is going to be for me. But then once I got to college, I actually got to, see them boys doing what they do, in the community, giving back and whatnot. So being real, yeah, in high school, I kind of already knew, that's something.
Okay.
We shouldn't be in
Okay, yes. So, Sad, what's your question?
Yeah. What would a student get out of joining the Greek organization?
Well, some of the things I gained was definitely a lifelong sisterhood. Some of my sisters, it's they're really truly my best friends at this point. I know I can depend on them for anything. Another thing you get is definitely networking. So you don't have just your line sisters, you have your chapter, older chapter members, and also, you know, people in your organization across the country and even internationally. So you can reach out to anybody at any given moment for like anything you need, whether it's like a job or just getting information about anything. So that's definitely something, you know, you can gain from the organization.
Definitely to piggyback off what she said, network, not just in your fraternity, it's against it's with all Greeks, honestly. Because say I see Ty, he might need a job. Okay, I understand. Okay, you went to college. True. I see on your resume you might have put your fraternity or whatever. I'm gonna actually want to interview you more because I know, one, your fraternity is connected to community. What community service has you done? Like you're out there, you know. So that's what I say.
Okay. Dope.
I think accountability is a big thing too. Like knowing when I'm out, you know, in public and out moving, just as well as in my private life, I represent something greater than myself. I'm not just Imani anymore. You know, when you join these organizations, we always kind of refer to it as, you know, the last name you didn't ask for. You know, I'm Imani the AKA, you know, that's how people see you on your campus. And, you know, like I said, you can't, as well as you don't want to misrepresent yourself, you can't poorly reflect your organization and, you know, other people in your organization.
Yeah.
Kind of like just a piggyback, you know, networking, but really join the organization, you kind of get what you want from it. Because I can join the organization and then network with everybody, and then somebody else can join and they don't talk to nobody. You see what I mean? So it's kind of like you kind of make your choice and then you use your choice for, I guess, the situation that you have.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to piggyback on what Aaron said. Just because you pledge one thing, don't mean you got to stick to that. Like, the brotherhood goes to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that I've noticed. Like, when I went for interviews, it might be an Omega, like, oh man, oh you pledge Kappa? Oh man, that's what's up. Like, they gonna look out for you. So don't think because you pledge one thing, you stuck just with that one fraternity. Like, you know what I'm saying? Get to know everybody.
That's true. I agree with you on that.
You need to say it again.
It goes the same thing for the sisterhood too. It goes the
Yep.
same thing for us sisters as well. So yeah. So Mike, what you got?
Alright. Question I want to ask. So, what's the difference between Greek life now and back when you crossed? Like me, I crossed in spring 12. So I see these new guys, and I ain't gonna lie, man. They got some new moves I ain't seen before. I'm like, okay.
You feel kind of old. You like, man, maybe I gotta keep up. What's up?
Bro, I'm fucking grandpa now.
You still a baby. My brother, you still a baby. So yeah, okay. So Twin and T-Raw, you guys are kind of like the old heads. I want to hear from y'all first.
I know with me, the traveling. Like I enjoy like going to all the schools. They had my organization. Even if they didn't, I was proud to represent my organization at the campus that didn't have it. Able to just go with no words, just go and then just say, hey, I'm in town. And somebody like you take care of you, you know what I'm saying, show you the way, give you some guys to pass on to your child and stuff like that. Now, the trips will pop like once a year, if that, you know, because with family, kids coming to picture, so you can't up and just go. But you know what I'm saying, at the same time, I mean, it's a difference. It's a big difference. But I mean, I look at both the same. I mean, plus I went to Allen. Allen's small, so it's like it's like everywhere.
Oh yeah, I went to Allen over there, so yeah.
We went together. Like we went places together. So it's like we small. We might have like 5 people in organizations. So I think it's more so on the family piece of it in school versus in high school.
Now I got a question, Twin. Do you see when you go back to like, you know, homecomings or like special events that your HBCU has, do you see a big difference from when you cross to, you know, maybe the Neos and stuff? Like, what is your thoughts on that?
I mean, the thing is, like, there's anybody that take how they see their Neos, homecoming, and events. You gotta understand, you was a Neo at one point. So the way you do things, you did things during your time, they're not going to do the same, because what worked for us is not going to work in 2018, and vice versa. I can give my Neos a theme that I know that we won on every time back in 07, 2010, and they put it now, it's going to flop. So my thing is, it's more so giving them the freedom to do what they do on their yard. You just only thing you do is guide them. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause y'all was lit, twin.
Legendary, baby.
It's legendary.
I seen it myself.
Oh my God. T-Raw, what are your thoughts? You know, you've been in the game for like 10 years, right?
Yeah. About to be 11 on March 4th.
Oh, dang.
All right,
And
so
you a solo too.
yeah, solo. Ooh, so kind of piggyback on Twin, man. I feel like it was more, well, for my organization anyway, I feel like it was more togetherness from chapter to chapter. I mean, because if Clapton had a party, the whole state went to Clapton. If College of Charleston had a party, the whole state went to College of Charleston. Now everybody kind of divided, but this is kind of from the outside looking in too. You know what I mean? But this is just from what I see.
Why you think they're divided?
We go.
They don't want to listen to the old heads. Pretty much.
Oh, cause y'all going.
I mean, it's like once you have one line cross, then another line cross, and then you have another line cross where this person don't want to listen to these people. Now the disconnect comes. So now once they're disconnected from the old heads, they're disconnected to everybody else. Because now they won't meet other people, other chapters, unless they get introduced to them, unless they take the initiative to go and do it. But if they don't even want to meet us, what makes you think they're going to meet somebody else?
That is true. That is true. So, Aaron, you want to piggyback off that a little bit? I mean, you kind of new too, so I mean.
Well, technically, I'm the one in the middle of everyone.
That is true, yeah.
Because I'm spring 14.
Yeah.
So, I definitely can see both sides because when I came across, basically like all the old protocols and stuff were being fleshed out. So the new generation is like across the board, is just totally different from what when I came through, my old heads instilled in me. So it's a lot more family oriented from what I was taught, and then I see with the new generations there's a lot more rules. So a lot of people kind of sort of pull back to keep their chapters and all of their organization out of trouble. So when it comes to traveling and everything, what we used to could have did, we can't do. Say like, sometimes back in the day, everybody would wear their Greek shirts to a party. Now, organizations and even outside organizations, they don't want you to wear those to parties and stuff because hence alcohol may be involved and all that, and that reflects back on the image of your fraternity or sorority. So it's a lot more rules now, so that I think that's what kind of deters people from wanting to venture out. Even though, yes, you can still have safe fun and everything and still wear your letters, but it's give and take. So now with me, I travel all the time. So it's just like, that's what I was taught. Go meet people, and not just in your organizations. When you meet new people, you just meet them. Oh, I'm such and such, I'm part of the such and such. Cool, you just made a connection. So now, say I'm in town and something going on, say I got a meeting or something, I'm in town. Hey, what you doing? You know, you're not just sitting there, you have family all over. So again, that goes back to bigger than just your organization, y'all one Greek family, so.
Okay, ladies.
I mean, yeah, I'm a spring 16 this year, so I'm definitely still kind of new to the game. So I can't speak, I guess, on the past. However, I mean, I feel like I'll be traveling. I mean, I know a lot of people's
going to picnic this past summer?
Twice. You know, I guess, yes, I guess I see what y'all are saying about the rules, but I mean, I feel like, you know, you get what you get. Like, there's still a way to go about it. Travel, make those families have those connections. I guess without having the negative backlash or anything. So it's just about how you move and whether you choose to invest in it.
All right, y'all. So, what is Greek like after college? Like, as far as like after all the partying and everything.
When you go into the real world, like, you know.
It's the same.
Still partying.
It's still the
So
same.
let me ask you this. Okay, so, I'm 20. If you're in your 30s, do you go back to those college kickback parties and stuff?
I mean, you know, it's a cutoff point. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah, right.
You're still an adult. You know what I mean? What, you still party?
Right.
You don't be that old
get older too.
You don't be that old head in the house party.
You just don't go to an undergrad party.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You do like, you know, like homecoming. Of course, you do an alumni party.
Yeah.
I know with my organization, we do between two grad chapters, they have 4 events. You know, it's a rolling sets event. So, of course, anybody, you know, I'm in my 30s, so of course, when you meet with the grad child level, it's the same. I promise the same way. It's not every weekend. It's more so we're gonna go this month and we're gonna chill the whole. It's the same thing. Cause like when you get with them, like your LBs might come in town, your LS might come in town. You didn't see your profile, your DPNs, God knows when. And now it's like, hey, it's 07 again. Yeah. But we wake up, it's still 18. We gotta breathe.
Oh God.
So I mean, I think it's the same. Like I said, it's the same, but you just can't do as much as you did the undergrad. I mean, if you do now, that's a problem. Personally, that's a problem. But it's pretty much the same though.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a DJ, so it's kind of different for me because I kind of DJ the parties.
Yeah.
But I mean, DJing the party and being in the party, two different things.
Right.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna twist it a little bit. I gotta ask this question because, you know, we got some that went to PWIs on this panel, maybe we got some that went to HBCU. What is the difference from pledging at a PWI from pledging at an HBCU?
I didn't pledge.
I didn't pledge.
Okay.
First thing.
Okay.
It's no pledging.
Okay.
It's a membership selection process.
Right.
Make us out fine.
Okay.
It's hard to answer that question because I didn't attend a PWI. Well,
well, from your experience, like, you know what I'm saying, from when you went to HBCU,
right.
What is the experience like? What do you think the experience is like from being at HBCU and then what you see perception-wise from PWI?
Honest answer, I know we got told this in 2008. We was actually promoting a Mardi Gras between Allen and Benedict Mardi Gras. Mm-hmm. And we was at US. We went.
Y'all familiar with that, huh?
We went to USC to promote a party, and I'll never forget it. We went to the Russell House, and then we kept passing our flight, but we was never getting a reaction. So we just tried to stop somebody. Like, hey, what's the problem? And she said, I'll be honest with you. You look like you don't go to school yet. I said, what do you mean? Like, we had fatigues on. At first it was funny, because I had my fatigues on, the boots. I said, what do you mean? She was like, look, the cues here, it's just the way they look, the way they carry themselves. I'm just saying what was told to us. Mm-hmm. So now when I go to campuses, I might look and I'll make a joke out of it, like, yep, you went to a PWI. I can tell, just the way you carry yourself. There's nothing wrong with it, but the only backlash to it is, you get some of the PWI organization try to live an HBCU experience. There's no way possible. Like you have a USC, Columbia, Aiken, Upstate, but they can choose which USC to come attend homecoming to.
Yeah.
I can't go to Benedict. Well, I can because it's right on the street. We can't just go and say, hey, this is my homecoming. Now you go to a USC homecoming, which, you know, in the fence, that's a problem too. My eyes, in a fence. PWI.
Is it a fence or
in a fence? In the Kings area. That's another conversation. I don't know blacks. But the thing is, like, don't get me wrong. Like, if you try to compare a PWI, even like say homecoming, a USC versus an Allen Benedict, we don't have 800 kids at Allen. Benedict might have 3,000, 20,000. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And out of 20,000, you got 5,000 to 10,000 blacks by itself. So it's no comparison because of the number game. You know what I'm saying? But as far as experience, I think it's better. I mean, yeah.
I had one of the same exact experience you had. I actually went to Allen one time passing out flyers, have a bow tie on, have a suit, you know, canes, female LBs out there, we meals, we just crossed. Right. We going out there, we passing out flyers, right? And we had the same thing. You have people looking at us like,
don't want no campus.
Yeah, we have
they was like, one girl came up, she was like, y'all not from around here, are y'all?
Right.
We was like, nah, you know, we from USC. And then, you know, they say, oh, we don't have campus around here, so to see y'all dressed up anyway, you know.
Yeah, I was counting thugs, man. I was counting, they wear black tee, gold chains, and shit.
We
got the Thugget camera, man.
That's exactly how I
Thugget camera.
Aaron, you got anything on this?
I will touch on the PWI issue. I feel like at every PWI, there's always a mini HBCU. Like USC, we have Black USC. We have a whole group meet with like hundreds of students that are Black. And, you know, on a more serious note, we get perceived differently at a PWI. Like, you know, the administration, they don't understand our organizations. The other students don't understand it. So we have to move a little bit differently in certain things that we do. You know, we go on Green Street, which is like the main street at USC, whatever, play hip-hop music, whatever, and they're looking at us like we're monkeys. They literally said that. So, you know, you may think it's better, but it's harder for us to kind of do those things, you know what I'm saying?
I guess I personally think it might be a stretch to say that as a black community, we have a mini HBCU. I think that could be a stretch. However, I think it's an important distinction to make that while black students can have an HBCU experience as a PWI, we can still have an authentic black experience at a PWI. And I feel like people often like confuse those things and neglect that. And I feel like that's why D9 organizations play such an important role at PWIs. Because like Dee Dee said, we're at a campus that doesn't cater to us. We're at a campus that doesn't understand us. A campus that, I mean, if they weren't caring about their diversity rates, we wouldn't really be here. Like, we make up less than 10% of USC's population. So it's up to us to foster that sense of community for black students. It's up to us to make sure that black students have the culture aspects that they need and have the just, I don't know, support as being black people moving through the world. Like, that's why we are so important on our campus.
I know we come over.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so I got my partner, Joe Black, behind the scenes. He got a question. Come around here real quick.
Joe Bleezy.
Let him know.
So,
Come to the camera.
I see, I gotta be behind the scenes.
Oh, you got to be behind the scenes. Okay, so
I
everybody.
see PWI Greeks and HBCU Greeks. I want to ask the interaction between the organizations. Like, you're a Delta from USC. How does your interaction with the Delta from maybe like Benedict or Allen? Do you feel like they handle you a different kind of way because you pledged at a PWI and they know that?
No, not all my interactions have not been like that. You know, they still treat me as if I'm their sister and their soror because I am. You know, they don't treat me any differently than, you know, Benedict and State, you know, soror would treat each other. Like, we get to know each other on the same level. We still travel together, get to know each other. Like, there's no, like, you know, animosity or anything that I've experienced, like, personally, but I can't speak for everyone else.
So you make that connections with, you know, the HBCUs that's all across the street
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
I'm like the same way
you know,
too.
even when we have events like at USC, we'll have, like, for example, we had like a kind of workout event. I had a soror from Benedict come teach the class. You know, it doesn't have to be like that. I don't think it should.
So I see y'all two fellas over there conversating. I know y'all got a lot to speak on this, so let me hear what y'all got to say.
Nah, it's just from past experience. I'm gonna use with Omegas. We took like 150 to 200 kids to see Black Panther last year, the year before last.
Oh yeah.
And every chapter, it's five chapters, 3 undergrads and 2 grad chapters in Columbus, South Carolina. So when we was there, of course we got more inner city kids, the ones that we know they can't afford it, this, that, and the third. When we got there, you see, you know, certain chapters interacting with the kids, like they're their nephew, their son, their little cousin, whatever the case may be. But a PWI sitting over here, no interaction. It's like you felt like we the strangers. We all one. That's how outside looking in. But when you sit inside, you watching like, why are they sitting over here and there's 40 brothers over here with these kids? Why are these 5 Omegas sitting over here? Why don't y'all feel comfortable amongst your own? That's why when you made that comment about the small HBCU, it's a difference. We don't have to make up an environment. We don't have to make up a community. We are the community. Y'all stand out. I mean, y'all stand up. So it's like, I don't feel like it's a whole togetherness thing. Because like I said, it's depending on the area. Depending on what area you go to, you got some PWIs when you associate at I'm going to use Columbia. If you throw an Allen or a Benedict event right now, USC will not cross that street. And you can ask yourself this question. Before you became Greek, how many times did you actually interact at HBCU? Most PWIs don't even see it until they become Greek. Until they see, oh, wow, it wasn't what they told me. Not to come across the railroad track like we the slums or something like that. But it happens. Like, it's a divide. I promise it's a divide. They might not want to say it or might want to admit to it, but it is. So like you said, when you come to us, it feels weird, it's not comfortable. But you coming to your people, why you don't feel comfortable?
I can say this, being hosting parties with the HBCUs and what's the name? Yeah. I've been noticed the difference in the people in the crowds. You know, I done did both sides and doing parties. I done seen some that don't care and they still come to the parties, but the crowd is even different. You know, and I can speak on that just being from the outside, but still having to deal with both sides.
Right.
You know, I can definitely see the difference in the people.
Yeah, he's not lying about that. Cause I mean, I'm from Columbia, so I done been to Benedict parties, I done been to USC parties, and I mean, it is a big difference. I ain't gonna front. I had some my best times at the Benedict parties. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. But I mean, that is a gap that does need to be bridged. Like,
most definitely.
We're all the same people, like you said. Like, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be like I've never seen it where I had seen a difference between it, because like I said, I rock with Benedict and Allen boys. I rock them boys hard. Yeah. But if I was to see it, I'd be like, hey, I'd tell my young boys, like the Neos, like, hey man, y'all need to reach out to that chapter. Get them, bring to some of y'all events. That's what we did when Benedict had came back. They was coming to our events, you know? Oh, so I mean, I feel like that's how you bridge the gap. Bring to your events, you know?
So, you got any more questions? So I'm about to twist it up a little bit. I'm about to ask an intense question.
All right, before we get to the intense question, let me ask this one.
Okay.
What would y'all say to someone who wants to join your individual or join your fraternity or sorority? What advice would you give them?
Get them grades right.
Yeah, main thing.
That's the main thing. Because, like,
if your grades not right, you know what we can talk about.
There's no conversation piece. The first thing I'm gonna say is we'll look on the website. If you don't have the grades, I mean, like, I don't know. I can speak for everybody else. I know us 2.5, and even with 2.5, certain chapters can move up their own because of saying what fits them. But my thing is, if you can't maintain a 2.5, why would we have a conversation? Why are you interested in something that you got 4 intelligent men that had a great idea to do something special? You ain't paying attention in class. So if we having a conversation or we at a conference meeting, how you gonna help us out? Scholarship first. You gotta have a scholarship.
Well, my advice would be #1 to do your research and make sure the organization is actually for you. You know, some people, they kind of just want to be great, so they'll just go to anything and try to join anything. But you have to realize, it's a lifelong commitment. It's not like you're just, I'm not just doing the Delta in college. Like, even after that, I'm still a Delta. You still have to do the service. You still have to do the work. You still have to be financially active, all that good stuff. You know, it's not just a 2-3 year thing. You have to really commit to it, and also make sure the chapter that you want to join is actually for you too, because organizations do vary at the school that they are. Even with the PWI, HBCU, if you know that you don't necessarily want the whole PWI experience being great, then you don't have to do that.
Right, and I got a question once everybody's done too.
A lot of times the first questions that I ask somebody when they say they're interested in my organization is, why are you in school? If you can't answer why you're in school, why would I want you in my organization? Because you're here for school. That should be your #1 focus no matter what. Now, to be a part of any organization, that is, how do I want to put it? That is like a badge on your belt. But at the end of the day, you're here to get a degree. So if your focus isn't #1 to get that degree, but your focus is, oh, I'm going to join Alpha, or my mom or dad is a such and such, and I'm trying to carry that on. No, you gotta keep in mind, because you can get lost in this world. Right. Like, you can get completely sidetracked. You cross, next thing you know, school's out the window because you always traveling. Right. You always, I gotta be at this party. You always, follow me, or I need to get this jacket, or and then you forget, hey, I was a 3.5 student, but my whole semester's gone. And now it's just like, you coming to the party? Yeah. You got tests tomorrow. You haven't studied. So my thing is, you're here for an education. If you can't tell me your goals when you get your degree and stuff, what are your priorities? Because once you get consumed, it's very hard to pull yourself back. So
that's the truth.
Yeah. I see, T-Rod twin, what y'all got to say about this, because y'all over there like,
I'm just saying, like, when you was talking about, you just end up going to all the parties, stuff like that. I went to every party. I was throwing parties.
What about you?
I feel like a big thing I always like to ask is, what are you planning to do for my organization? Like, I feel like people are always quick to join organizations for what they can get out of it. Like, I want a sisterhood. I want network connections. You know what I mean? What are you going to do to take my organization to the next level? Like, what parts of my purpose resonate with you and what you value in life? What programs do you think you can bring to this campus, you know, or make better on this campus. Because if you've done your research, then you know. Like, I mean, AKA 1908, you know, it's right there. You know, if you've done your research, you know my purpose, you know what my organization stands for, you know, like I said, the programs and the targets that we are choosing to focus on. So what are you going to do about these?
It's your boy Sadie B, and you're tuned in to the Say More podcast.
This is your girl Tamaya. I'm here with Miss Chichi Mulani.
Yes.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm in the penthouse.
Oh, okay. Top floor.
So please tell me, how did you get the name Penthouse?
You know, everybody wants to be on the top floor. Come here at the Penthouse, find top shelf. All exclusive.
Where is the Penthouse located?
7101 Park Lane Road, right behind Substation 2.
Okay. Now, I really like this boutique. It's pretty small, but it's so cute and chic. Like, how did you come up with this concept?
Well, my baby girl, Halo, once I realized she was coming, I knew I had to do something. I wanted to invest in something really nice and creative. And, you know, I went to sleep that night, and I started coming out with the floor plans. And I knew I wanted some black and white checkerboard floors, and this room was actually pink. And I knew I wanted to strip it from its color to give it a more flexible feel. I knew I wanted to put the lights in. And I just wanted to have like a tasteful, something real clean, upscale. You get what I'm saying? Like real clean chandeliers, you know, just give it an exclusive feel, something different. Matter of fact, vibes.
A vibe.
Vibes, penthouse vibes.
Right, penthouse vibes.
Yes.
That's how I feel in this fur right here. Tell them about this piece.
This is nice. I actually got this when I was in New York Fashion Week last year, 2018. So all of these furs, garments, pieces is really exclusive. We get it from LA. We get it from different places where I traveled. So they're very special.
Purple's my favorite color, so show me some more. Show me some more.
I call this unicorn.
Unicorn?
Mm-hmm.
That's my baby. This is about to be my baby. This is about to be my baby. I'm sorry. This has my name written all over it. Yes. You have to come see her.
I also style, so even if, you know, you guys don't want to purchase anything, you can also come here to get a new style.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I style like a lot of people, a lot of models.
Okay.
Just give them a new look. If you don't know what you want to do, but you know you want to model, and you know a photographer, but you need something to stand out, I'm a creative director.
Wow.
So, you know.
I'm going to link up with her. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to
make it pop. I'm going to make it pop.
Yes.
And, you know.
So let people know where they can find you on social media.
They can find me at Chichi Mulani, ChichiMalani, and that's at Instagram. We also have Penthouse Fashions on Instagram, and we got Penthouse Boutique, and that's on Facebook.
I have to thank my girl Chichi for having me here today. Thank you.
It's not a problem. You are always welcome here at the Penthouse, located inside Tokyo's Beauty Bar, right in front of Columbia's Mall.
That's true. Now, do y'all feel like, you know, individuals that potentially would like to join the D9, do they have to attend y'all events and stuff like that? Do y'all think that's really important for them to do as far as joining your organization?
I definitely think that's true. I know at USC, that's one, how you express interest, by coming to our events, seeing what we do. You know, if you go on campus and you don't see like an organization doing anything for their immediate community, then why would you want to join that organization? It's like they're on campus just for their letters and not putting on any events, not doing any service, and just not helping out at all. So it's like, if you don't see that, you know, active, you know, participation at their school, why would you even want to join something like that? Pay your money, go through a whole process just to not do anything. Basically, you're still a budget guy.
That's very true. I feel like if they want to join like the Devine 9 or join any organization, at least go to events. Because say if we're all doing events and stuff like that, and then it comes time for like an interest meeting or something, and then he pop up like who are you? Like, we ain't never seen you before, nobody. You know what I mean? Like if you're interested in something, show interest, but don't be like all up in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because some people get carried away.
Right.
Single event in the front row.
Right.
I
don't think they need to do it every event.
Nah, yeah,
I think
I'm
like
just saying.
if it's a major, especially with us, I look at the any community service project that's big. Like if you could come up in the midst of 20, 30 bros and introduce yourself, I applaud that. Because it's with any organization, even with a job, you walk in a conference room and the CEO, everybody that's the big dogs in there, it's hard to just walk up to them and introduce yourself. So if somebody got the nerve to come up and just introduce themselves, I'm all with it. Now, do I want to see you every time? No, I don't want to see you every time. but time's different though, because when we was doing it, you didn't want to be seen. You wanted from the time you to come up with your probate is more special than walking around campus. Oh, he's on this. Oh, she's doing this. Oh, nah, he ain't doing nothing. Then when they come out, where you been? What? That's what you been doing? Oh man, that's where we go. So I think it goes for, like I said, depending on what chapter it is, what school, what they do, what fits them. Because I don't want to tell you now. I'm gonna say come speak to me. Just keep a low profile. And if I tell her that, and then she go to USC and do the same thing, she never gets picked. So it goes for, I think it just goes for each child what they comes on.
I'm glad he brought that up, because I always tell anybody that asks me like, what should I do? Introduce yourself, because like I said, if I don't know you, then I can't say nothing for you. You come, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, I don't know this guy. Like, that's gonna be one of the biggest things other than grades. But introduce yourself when you go, so they know who you are. You know, I mean, you might have great credentials, but they don't know who you are. You still want to, like, you know, have that. Hey, they know my face. They also know what I do.
Right. Yeah, I got to ask this question. Is the Greek life the same way they show it on TV and the movies?
Nope.
No.
No.
I feel like when you see Greek life on TV, all you see is stepping and hazing.
Right.
They don't show anything else.
They don't show no community service.
At all parties.
No helping out, no mentorship.
I got a question for this one.
They just show whatever the stereotype is.
You know,
They
when
really
you get
do.
on my nerve, man, stomp the yard.
Oh, why? I was giving a positive note.
You know, it wasn't. Everybody used to want me to, like, they was like, oh,
One.
dance battle. I'm like, bro, we don't dance.
Exactly. I was like, man, dang. That's crazy.
That's crazy. So, okay, I'm going to twist a little bit. Now, I know when I was a freshman coming in, and probably they might have had that PWIs, but I know at Benedict, and I don't know about Allen, they had these little Greek 101 sessions. So people came, like seminars, like they had in the Swinton Center and stuff, if you're familiar with that.
We do it now. We ain't do it back then.
Oh, y'all didn't do it at Allen? So, okay, at Benedict, they did it.
They should do it now.
Yeah, well, this was back in 2009. They did one. Yeah, so now I've been seeing on social media, and everybody know what I'm about to ask at this table. What are you guys' thoughts on the Netflix movie Burning Sands?
Somebody's opinion.
Why?
Somebody's one-sided biased opinion.
I mean, the thing is, with every story that's told, is more sides to it. My thing is, whoever created whatever, that's what he saw in his eyes. That was his vision. And matter of fact, I had a conversation. Matter of fact, we talked the other day. You can compare it to, if you believe in God, you can compare it to the Bible with disciples. You look in the Bible, they was there at the same time with Jesus, but they got their own version of what happened during that time. That's his truth. Whoever did it, heard him, that's their truth. But you can best believe somebody gonna view it different. Like, whoa, if I was there, that didn't happen. Like, hold on, man, you had me in this movie, that didn't happen. Like, why would you A, B, and C did it come in? Producers did this, man. They want to spice it up. But so my thing is, like I said, I'm not gonna take nobody's truth from them. If that's his truth, that's his truth. But like I said again, that's his opinion. I can't compare to that. I mean, if it has to be, they have us.
Question, Twin. Do you think it's okay that they play that movie at Greek 101 seminars at these HBCUs? I know. Yes, they have. They have. Yeah, they have. So, okay, I saw it on social media that they played it at an HBCU. No, I think it was an HBCU that they played that movie at a Greek 101 seminar session. Wow. They played that.
Hey, okay.
They played that. So
what's the movie called? It's a movie called School Days.
School Days, yeah.
Okay. Where I'm from, Douglas, Georgia, Greeks don't exist. like at all. We came over, we went home with gold boots and cut up. They were like twins. Where y'all get them shoes from? You know what I'm saying? So it didn't exist. So when we started asking questions, one of my pro fighters, he was like, hey, I can't explain it to you. The best thing I can tell you is watch the movie School Days.
Right.
I was like, that's it? Walk around school, all jump around. It's more, it's like I say, it was more of a mental game. Like, it made it seem like they was getting the worst of the worst, but they was squishing a banana. They thought it was, you know, crap in the toilet, but it really wasn't. So like I said, it goes to that person's vision, what they saw, what their truth is. And then plus, even you to show me that in school, if you're a person that's already determined, you already know what you're going to do, that movie ain't going to make no difference.
Right. Now, go ahead. I want to hear everybody's opinion on this, though. Seriously.
I think the fact that they showed that at, like, you know, intake, like, one-on-one kind of thing is just, first of all, it's wildly disrespectful to take a movie that is clear propaganda to push, you know what I mean, whatever your specific, like he said, his truth, whatever your perspective on, you know, pledging and hazing, that is clear propaganda used to, like I said, push that agenda. It was framed in a way that was supposed to negatively, you know, reflect Black Greek organizations. So for them to play that, you know what I mean, it's just, it discredits everything the D9 organizations have ever done, like the service, the impact that we've had on the country and the world. And I think it's also incredibly frustrating because it applies the exception to the majority. You know what I mean? Like, none of us can sit up here and say tragic things haven't happened as a result of hazing. It's true. It's, you know, it would be, like I said, a disrespect and injustice to those victims and their families to say that it hasn't happened. But to, like, show this movie in this, you know, capacity, like I'm saying, it's making it, it's telling these students that this is what you're going to experience. Right. This is what it's going to be like. Right. That, exactly. That's, you know, this is the 99% opposed to the 1%. Like, it.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure y'all got a lot of phone calls at the release because you got parents that was concerned and everything like that. I just feel like, to piggyback off of what you said, that was really disrespectful to play something like that, you know, for people to, like, think that's what really goes on. You're representing your organization, so.
The thing is, it was just from, I hate the fact that they just only chose Black Greek.
Yep. That too. The
last movie that, I mean, it's an 80s movie called Nerds. They had like a part 2, Revenge of the Nerds. It was all about,
that was crazy.
That was about fraternity. I'm talking about trash in the house.
Lifetime had some ones for the females too.
Right. So it's like, my thing is, but society the way it is now, don't nobody want to hear the good.
No.
Everybody want to hear the bad because why the bad sounds more interesting than, hey man, we just fed 100 kids, man. We just got 50 kids haircuts for free. We did A, B, and C. Oh, good job. Hey man, I heard y'all fighting over the last weekend.
Exactly.
They do not show the good.
Bad news is what sells now.
Definitely.
Exactly.
People just chasing the ratings now, and for it to be shown at a HBCU, that's wildly crazy because a lot of times the people over like the Greek panels and everything at the school, they're usually Greek. So for that to even be shown is like you just add into the negative connotation behind everything. When actually, in real life, Greeks do a lot for their school.
Yeah.
They do a whole lot. Look at the AKAs. They just gave, how much money to them?
Yeah, hit the shade room.
Over $1 million. And you know people's in the comments. Didn't somebody die in your org?
Yeah, I did.
Exactly.
I still read the comments.
Y'all not seeing how we literally
it's always that.
played such a major part in saving Ben in college. 32 HBCUs got $50,000 from us.
Yeah.
But that's what you want to say?
Exactly.
They're gonna find a bad. And then yes, one, if you look at it within the last maybe 5-6 years, even with the world, people has been pushing HBCU, send your kids here, at least give it a try. Man, the world's saying like, why are we pushing for these black colleges for? We're losing our numbers. Because the numbers been way high now, you know, the last couple of years with HBCUs versus PWIs. It's like, okay, why are we pushing our kids to go there? Why not? Because the old stereotype was, and still is, you don't want to go to an HBCU because when you graduate, you can't interact with other cultures. Man, you crazy, man. He from the hood. I can hang with him. He the bougie hood. I can hang with him. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, that it's stuck. It's stuck in a lot of people's minds that just because you go to an HBCU, you cannot be successful. You cannot be you know, in all the other cultures versus saying, oh, I went to a PWI, of course I'm gonna get a high paid job. Or yes, no, you're paying for this. You paying for a name. You ain't paying for your education. Cause we got the same education.
That's true.
That is very true.
Mike, what are your thoughts on that movie being played as a one-on-one seminar?
Man, that's crazy. Like, if I would have seen that movie, I mean, I don't think it really would have changed my mind, but it definitely would have made me second guess. Like, do I really want to do this? This is what I really do? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, well, like, I still don't get it. Like, I can't fathom why you play that, you know what I'm saying, at a Greek one-on-one. Like,
do you want them? Do you not want them?
That's what it's so, now keep in mind, I don't know if you guys are aware, the director and producer of that movie is in the Divine Nine organization. I'm not going to say which organization they are in. I'm pretty sure y'all know, but I'm not going to speak on that. And he was in the Divine Nine. What are y'all thoughts on that? Like, because perception-wise, because I'm pretty sure people did a lot of research on that movie, like who directed it and everything, and they saw that he was part of Divine Nine. They're going to automatically assume, oh, since he's a part of Divine Nine, oh, that's what happened. That's what really, really goes down.
At the end of the day, if you scrap all the Greek stuff, he made money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you could sell a story.
Right.
Told the story they wanted to hear.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. But do y'all think that they should have made that movie, a movie like that? I mean, I know they made School Days, but School Days was an intense in which we saw as far as like what Burning Sands was. Do y'all think that movie should have been made?
They just made R. Kelly.
I mean, yeah, but like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm
like,
just saying, but like I said again, like who would want to hear that story? Like you're a college student. Like, we have more of our black kids going to college now. You know what I'm saying? And of course, don't get me wrong. Every organization got their downfall. Like this in life, we all got flaws. Bad stuff has happened. So like you said, I'm not going to discredit what has happened. It does happen. But at the same time, you know, maybe they went through something like that. Maybe they got a bad experience. Because you have some Greeks, man, that don't gave up their love. They know what this is not what I thought it was. You know, and it's not because of the quote unquote hazing. It's just the interaction with other people. Like some people just not really just people. You know, they don't know how to deal with people. So so the thing is, though the direct producer was probably one of those two that's like, you know what, I got a bad deal on this side. I don't like how I was treated. Nobody apologized to me. They said I couldn't do this. You know, I'm gonna show them. Cause it could have came from a evil spot.
Yeah, had the means to do it.
Right, it just had the means to do it. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people right now who's like, you know what, I got a story to tell. Let me go ahead.
Right, but they just
there was some Greeks. I don't know if y'all watch YouTube, but there was some Greeks that did like recaps on the movie from that, and they was putting their opinion. They were just like, you know, this was not. So like everybody really was out there after that release of that movie. Everybody was sharing their opinion on that because you know it made us as a Divine Nine look very bad in bad light.
Right. I mean,
you know?
what it did was it kind of tried to make the Greek culture one thing, whereas each chapter is kind of different. You know what I mean? Like the culture of each chapter is different. One chapter might be crazy. They might not like nobody in the chapter. Nobody might not like each other at all. Whereas the other chapters, like they're together whenever you see them. You know what I mean? So it didn't show enough perspectives.
All niggas.
I feel like it really just confused me. Like, what did you have to gain from this? That's just really how I felt. Because if you really, besides your check, besides your coins or whatever, like, what did you really get from this? Because if you actually had a problem with, you know, the culture behind, you know, pledging and hazing and stuff, why wouldn't you have said, okay, I want to, I don't know, stream this in an area just for D9, just for us? Because if it's an issue within us. It don't have nothing to do with GDIs. It don't have nothing to do with the community outside of us. So if it's the culture shift you want to see, why didn't you just do it in a more constructive way? Why didn't you say, yeah, I want to reach out to the presidents of these organizations and make a task force? I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, there was a constructive way you could have gone about this. It didn't need to be dropped on Netflix for the world to see.
Exactly.
Like, it wasn't... it wasn't for them.
Especially
if you wanted to make an actual change, it should have been a change from within, not dropping this bomb on the world and saying, deal with your perception. Like, what?
I definitely agree with that, and I feel like it was a very exaggerated, one-sided opinion of Greek life.
Exactly.
You know, as D9orgs, we already get a lot of negative connotations about us and stuff. And that just like worsened it. I look in like, you know, the shade room comments and stuff. People like, oh, y'all are just a gang that gets paddled for letters so you can, you know, dance in the club and stuff. And you know, it's like, we're like more than that. And I also feel like, how do I say this? I feel like there, like Imani said, there could have been a better way of going about this. Like there are legislators who are pushing, better laws about hazing and stuff like that. So if you actually wanted to make a change, doing this movie was like not the way to do it. You just wanted to get a check. You could have actually made change like the right way, not by making a movie for a check.
I'm not gonna lie though. Like if they had made a positive movie,
no one watched it.
No one would watch.
They already got Stump the Yard. Stump the Yard was kind of positive.
I was gonna say, they made Stump the Yard,
and that was popular.
If they made another Stump the Yard, then it would have just drowned out like all the other generic Stump the Yard movies they got.
Yeah. We got anything you say?
They should have had a disclaimer at the end of it though. Like, this is not a real depiction.
Exactly. Yeah, like what are some of the like long-term benefits of being a Greek?
Definitely networking. I'll say that. Networking. And also just going to like, different cities. Well, like, yeah, we answered that, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel like one kind of long-term thing is like the lifelong sisterhood or brotherhood that you get. Like I look at some of my older profiles, they still, get together after 40 years of being together. It's like, you kind of always have that bond with your sisters or your brothers. You always have somebody to depend on. Some of them, they're like in their 40s or whatever, their kids have grown up together, they've gone to each other's weddings, stuff like that. So it's almost like having like an extended family in a sense.
Sure. Okay. Well, I do have a final question. What can be changed differently about Greek life now, and what could be changed when you guys cross? What would you do differently?
Everybody does not need to be Greek. Everybody does not need to be Greek because to each his own.
So I want to piggyback on what you said, Aaron. Everybody does not have to be Greek, but some people feel like they need to join it so they can be successful when they graduate, from college. And what is your take on that?
I mean, that comes down to whoever's in charge of the intake. You know what I mean? Because that's why we do interviews and stuff like that, so you kind of get to know that person and see where they at. I mean, we had 3 people in our yard for the longest of time. I mean, it wasn't because we didn't have interest.
So T-Raw, what would you have did differently when you crossed?
I would have tried to do the working side more, because after I crossed, it was party. Go ahead. I mean, it took me to like probably spring 2009 to actually be like, oh, all right, let me kind of do what I'm supposed to be doing. So I probably did it earlier. Yeah. Other than that, it was just me. It was a Wild West back then,
Twin?
Yeah. What I would do different from the time we cross is put more guidance in the chapter. A lot of us, they'll cross over or graduate or go back home because, you're not from this area. You don't really just bond with everybody like that. So I would say, try to have where you can groom someone that will stay around for a while, and you can keep grooming these young men to do A, B, and C. Because like you said, when we crossed over, like we probated a week before we graduated. Then in August, we got a job as a dorm director with my LBs in the dorm with us. Go mode. It was go. But the thing was like we didn't learn, you know what I'm saying, like the business side of it. It was like just, hey, you still Leo, man, y'all still undergrad.
Oh man.
But what I'm saying though, but it wasn't no guidance. Like you said, like we came out with a 2008 line and then we didn't have a line until 2015. It wasn't because we were suspended or not capable, it just nobody talked to anybody. So just put guidance.
Mm-hmm. Ladies, let me hear from my ladies real quick.
I feel like I was really fortunate to catch the boat when I did. I crossed in the spring of my sophomore year, so I feel like I had a good amount of time, being a GDI as well as in my organization. And I feel like the biggest thing I would obviously change now is just people don't always join for the service. Like, you know what I mean? T-shirt wears are a thing. You don't need to be.
That's true.
You don't need to be in no party. You don't need to be a hip hop Wednesday if you're not at this community service event with me. And you can yell at people. You can chastise people. You can come to people sisterly. If that's not what they join this organization for, that's not what they're gonna give you. You know what I mean? It's not like I guess in a little bit of that definitely kind of goes into quality over quantity, but like that's a whole other debate. Yeah, just remembering the reason your founders made these organizations. You know, like again, our founders and people in the the earlier 20th century, they were out here like making organizations to help Black people not get lynched. And you can't even go clean up a park. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's just, there's just a big disconnect in the reason people chose to have these letters on their chest.
Well, I guess the only thing I would probably change when I paused, I feel like I took on too much. Like, I definitely wasn't a t-shirt wearer. Like, I held so many positions in the chapter, and I was burned out. Like, I should have kind of, like, delegated a little bit more rather than taking on step master, programming this, going to this community service. Like, y'all take on some of that. So, like, by the end of my senior year, I was just tired, And, like, I feel like I should have spread out my time a little bit more. And, like, since I took on so much in the chapter, I kind of dropped everything else that I was doing on campus, which I really shouldn't have done because those are the things that kind of got me there. So,
one thing I would say, just hold them brothers accountable. For like they said earlier, if you come to every party, but you don't come to the community service events, like it needs to be some type of accountability. You know what I'm saying? Like, something be like, yo, bro, like help us out, or or at least voice your opinion. I should have, voice my opinion more. Like, hey, bro, instead of just like being aggravated with it, actually say something. Pull them aside, like, hey, man, look, you need to come help out with this. That's the biggest thing because t-shirt words, woo, tell me, big headaches.
Well, I hate to end this episode of the Same More Podcast, but we're going to start with you, Twin. Tell everybody where they can find you at on social media.
Oh, man, Big Twin 1911 on Instagram, Snapchat, and Big Twins Coleman on Facebook.
Legendary.
You can find me on Instagram at DJT.Raw, on YouTube at IamDJTRaw, Facebook at DJTRaw, on Twitter at DJTRaw. You can listen to me on the radio, 100.1 The Beat, every Monday through Thursday, 12 a.m. to 2 a.m., Friday and Saturday on the Mix Show at 10 o'clock, and then Saturday and Sunday morning, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on 100.1 The Beat. Download the IR Radio app if you don't have it.
All right, y'all can find me on Instagram at Ocho_Dolo. I also run a First Fam blog at Apes and Ivies. That's about it. Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all the above at mybabyblue with 2 E's. They always say K's don't follow back, but I show that.
Y'all can follow me on Instagram at _DDZ_. Y'all need to follow me on Snapchat.
Y'all can find me on everything. It's Shimmy Carter. And if y'all want to get your pictures taken, find me at Shimmy Shots.
Ceddy B.
So you can find me on IG, Ceddy B, _, Facebook. I ain't putting that one out there. Snapchat, Ceddy_B.
That's it. Well, you can find me on Instagram at Sylvia_Darlene. You can find me on Facebook at Darlene Dennis. Yeah, my Facebook got hacked, y'all, so I had to make another one. Also, download that iHeartRadio app like T-Raw said, because he tried to steal, my closing a little bit. I'm on air Monday through Friday, 10 to 3, and Saturday, Sunday, 2 to 6. Yes. Thanks, guys, for joining in on the Say More Podcast. It's Sylvia Darlene. Till next time.
You are now tuned in. Rock it out with the Say More Podcast with Sylvia Darlene, Sadie B, and Tamaya Allen. Music, entertainment, life. Let's go.